Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Night Fiction Club. My name is Buddy Gott. I'm here every Sunday, and I'm here every week with Melissa Lummis. Welcome back to the show, Melissa.
Yay, I'm back.
Melissa unfortunately had some issues last week, couldn't join us, but thankfully last week we had two special guest co-hosts. We had Xavier Granville, who is not here tonight, although he might pop in. He might. Today's his birthday. He's doing a little celebrating. But we also had the very cool and very talented Michelle Reed. And Michelle Reed's joining us again tonight for part 2.
Yay!
Hey, welcome back, Michelle. Thank you so much. We had so much fun last week.
Thank you for having me back. I'm glad I didn't break your show.
No, it was awesome. It was awesome. I think that show went on for like an hour and a half. It was really a long episode. But afterwards, we're like, we still got a lot of movies we didn't cover for dumb movies. There's just so many great dumb movies out there. And, besides the ones we didn't cover, I really wanted to hear some of Melissa's favorites. So I'm glad we decided to do a part 2 here.
Yay, me too.
Now, what we normally do here on the show, for those who are new to the show, is we start out talking about what we are currently reading. So I'm going to start with our guest this evening. Michelle, do you have anything you're currently reading right now?
No. I'm actually not reading anything at all right now. Is that bad?
Then we're going to move on to Melissa. Well, that's okay. You've been very busy, and you had something big go down this week that I'm going to talk about later on in the show. Okay? Teaser for all you people watching. Melissa, are you reading anything?
I am. Actually, this is a time when I devour books because I just got a book back. It's been through the editing process. It's in the final stages. It's going to the formatter. So I'm kind of taking a deep breath and stepping away. It's going to release August 8th. So, and it's the 5th book in my current series called The Little Flame. And I'm excited because that's the midway point in the book. So for those of you who've been following the series, I'm wrapping up some things that you had. There are big questions, and there's going to be new questions. So you're going to get some satisfaction, and you're going to get some new stuff to keep you interested.
And it comes out when?
August 8th.
Oh, great. What's the title of this one?
It is called Echo.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. And as I've shared on the show before, but I'll say it again, the fun thing about the titles is anybody who's into the music scene and likes to go see music all over the place, I challenge you to figure out what the title is named after. Like in the book 1, it's called 9:30, and it takes place in D.C., so anybody in that area who goes to see a lot of music, figure out what that is. And the second one is called Electric, and it takes place in Philly, and Buddy can give this away. What's the title named after?
Well, I know that much like myself, you are a big, big fan of doing the electric slide dance. I can't stop it. I got kicked out of my local Catholic church because I would do like the electric slide during Alleluia, and did that happen to you too? You, Michelle?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, it's it's a little embarrassing when the priests and nuns throw things at you. But okay, if that's not what you're talking about, my second guess would be the Electric Factory concert venue in the city of brotherly love.
Yeah, which is a very cool venue. If you've never caught a show there and you're in the Philadelphia area, go catch a show at the Electric Factory.
Yeah, I believe I saw Adam Ant there.
Oh, cool.
In the 90s. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. I think I saw 311 there.
Oh, okay. Cool, cool.
What have I been reading?
Well, what have you been reading?
Okay, I've actually been reading a lot. I've had the pleasure of getting an advance copy of Olivia Harden's new book that's coming out, Dangerous Season, and it's the wrap-up of her second series. Awesome book. It's really, really good.
Oh, cool. No, wait, what's that series? It's related to the first series, isn't it, or no?
It's For Love of Faye. It is related to
Right, yeah, it is related. Okay.
Yeah, so you get to see some of the old characters and introducing new ones.
Like Rooney, I think, is in there. Yeah, okay. Oh, well, that's great. Cool.
And then because I've always got a couple of fiction gone, and then I always have 3 or 4, informational, like I've always got some sort of writing book that I'm reading, like Beginnings, Middles, and Ends is the one I'm still working on.
Oh, okay.
And I'm also just picked up and started reading some S.J. Scott. Have you guys heard of him?
I believe I have, but elaborate, please.
He writes a lot of kind of self-help, exercise, health, business, and the one I picked up is called Habit Stacking, 97 Small Life Changes That Take 5 Minutes or Less. So I just started reading that.
I love those books.
Yeah, I do too. And then I also picked up his book on Evernote because I am enthralled with Evernote. Have you guys ever played around with Evernote?
I have, but I got obsessed with it like Facebook or Pinterest, and I just spent all my time putting stuff on Evernote and not doing anything.
Okay. All right, I feel like a dummy here. Can you explain what Evernote is? Because I have no idea. I'm getting Everlong by Foo Fighters running through my head.
It's an app. You can use it on your laptop, or you can use it on any of your mobile devices. The cool thing is anything you put in it is automatically available across platforms. So your phone, your tablet, your laptop. And the reason that I'm interested in it and enthralled in it is, one, you can do projects together. Like with my author co-op, we're doing a project next year, and this is a great way for us all to bring our notes together because we're each writing a book in a series. And that's challenging because you got to be able to tie them all together, so we need to know what each of us is doing with those. The other thing is I'm researching about 3 different writing projects, and when I am in the mood for researching on one, I can put all my notes and stuff. You can put links, photos. I mean, it's not just typing notes in. I think that's what's the coolest thing about it.
That sounds pretty cool.
So I'm reading about how to use that. And then it's called Master Evernote, the unofficial guide to organizing your life with Evernote. And that's also S.J. Scott.
Nice.
And there's one other thing I'm reading. Oh, Write Your Novel from the Middle, a new approach for plotters, pantsers, and everyone in between.
James Scott Bell, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I have that too.
Yeah.
He's really good. Have you ever read any of his other books on writing?
I have not, but I did catch a lecture that he gave at one of these conferences, and it was really well done because I have always struggled with. I was an English major in college, and I taught high school English, and I always from high school struggled with, they wanted you to do the outline first and then write the first draft. And my problem is I can only half outline, and then I got to start writing. So I always had to have my first draft done before the outline was even due in school projects so that I could go back and create the outline out of what I wrote.
That's the way I did it too.
Yeah. And James Scott Bell, he was basically saying however you do it, when you get to the end of your rough draft, you can go back and use kind of the plotting points that I saw him give in his presentation and really tighten up your plot and make sure that you've got those, major turning points and all that fun stuff. I don't want to go. That's not what the show's about today.
No, but we're talking about what we're reading, and it's a fiction thing. And he's got some I think I've got 4 of his books on writing. He you probably know this, but he did some writing books affiliated with Writer's Digest magazines. They publish, books related to writing. But then he's self-published, I think, some of his more recent ones, like the one you mentioned. And he has one, too, that's really good called Self-Publishing Attack. I think it came out last year or the year before. That's really good. He's got another one, I think it's called Plot and Structure.
It's called Scene and Structure, too. He might have done both. But the scene and structure, I've been doing that. I read a chapter once a month, and then I try to apply what he's been teaching. Because, we're not going to get it all at once. We've got to learn step by step.
Oh, yeah.
To improve our writing. So I sometimes sit down and read those kind of books from beginning to end, but then I go back and I'll, one chapter at a time and try to work it into my current whips.
Cool. And what I've been reading is, for nonfiction, I've been reading the History of the Electric Slide. It's by Stephen Hawking. It's Stephen Hawking, of all people. And for fiction, I actually started reading. I have all of the. I believe it or not, I've never read a Sherlock Holmes story before. Seen all these movies, but I got the complete works of Sherlock Holmes, and I'm kind of diving into that right now.
Cool.
And it's got so many short stories in there, and it's fantastic.
You got to read Hounds of the Baskerville.
Yes. I remember seeing a movie of that, but I'm anxious to read all this because written when it was, and it's just so much fun to read still.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we dive into our topic, I do want to say hi. We've got some live comments already.
Yay!
Yeah. In a lot of these writing shows, we have a group that kind of jumps around from show to show, viewers, and we love them all. But this Bill Dow, and people chime in first. They type it in there that they want to be the first one to comment. And Bill Dallas wrote that he was first. Now, Bill did this at 6:06 p.m., almost 4 hours before we started. But Bill is first, so congratulations to Bill Dallas. Bill Dallas,
congrats,
cool guy, cool writer, and he's really a serious runner too. I know Bill just did like a 24-hour running marathon, I believe. Patrick Stemp is with us. He says hi, Michelle and Buddy and Melissa.
Hey, Patrick.
Carl Sinclair says the show can start now. I'm here, sort of. Hi, Buddy and Melissa. How you doing, Michelle? I have a feeling he was saying it like Joey from Friends. He's like, how you doing?
Probably.
How you doing?
And John Reed, I believe you know him, Michelle. Same last name as you, ironically enough. I
assume that's somebody's
wiring the bathroom
in your life.
He said, sorry, folks, electricianing over here. Be there shortly. So thanks for John, Carl, Patrick, Bill, everyone who's watching live and everyone who's checking it out later. If you want to share in on the comments what some of your favorite dumb movies are, please do, and we'll read them on the air. So Melissa, since you didn't get to talk about this all week, you're probably like about to burst. You want to share one of your favorite dumb movies?
Yeah, I do, and I have to comment on a couple that you mentioned in the last show.
Okay.
And one of them is Dude, Where's My Car? Now, I don't want to say that like I'm in love with this movie, but it has a special place in my heart. And
it does.
Basically, when I was pregnant with my daughter, she was just feisty and was sick and tired of waiting, and she wanted to come out early, and the doctor said, no. So they put me in the hospital and put me on meds to stop the labor. And my parents came to visit while I was in the hospital, and my husband picked up a movie. And guess what movie he picked up?
I'm thinking, Dude, Where's My Car?
Yeah, Dude, Where's My Car? So I could tell that the medication, they had switched me off of a drip to some pills, and I could tell the pills weren't working. I'm like, this girl is ready to come into this world. I'm telling you. And they're like, no, we're not picking up on contractions. I'm like, I don't care what your machines are saying. So my husband's like, just relax. We'll watch the movie.
Yes, relax.
Yeah, exactly. And it was my first, so, you know.
Oh, no, yeah.
So she was bound and determined to come into this world, and I don't know if she was just like, I can't believe you guys are watching this movie, and she had to get out of the room or what, but I'm watching Dude, Where's My Car? And it gets to the scene where there's that ostrich running around.
Okay,
and
yeah.
My water broke. Camille was just like, oh, hell no, we're out of here, folks.
Scenes with ostriches running around makes my water break sometimes. It's disturbing.
So this, you know, of course, now she's almost a teenager. She turns 13 in October, and
wow.
we were like, you have to watch this movie. So we rented the movie. This is the movie we were watching the night you were born. And she's like, oh my God, no wonder I wanted to get out.
It's a funny. Now that's one I need to rewatch. I saw. I think I was there opening night with my best friend to watch.
Wow.
I think like our girlfriends at the time refused to go because they just figured it looks like some dumb guy movie, and it was a pretty dumb movie, but hilarious. And I remember buying that DVD like as soon as it came out. And if you've ever seen the DVD, you know, one of my favorite things about DVDs is like watching it with the audio commentary, and it's those two guys, Ashton Kutcher and is it Sean William Scott? Is that his name? Yeah, them doing the commentary about the movie is as funny, if not funnier, than watching the movie because they're just like cracking jokes the whole time. They might be doing it with the director too. I can't remember, but it's very funny. Very funny.
I don't remember any of the movie. I just remember going, what? Through the whole thing.
Right now, I kind of had forgotten about the ostrich scene.
So that was the one I absolutely had to share. I was like,
that's a great story. I remember Jennifer Garner being in there, you know, right before her career really took off with Alias. I remember thinking, oh, she's really cute. I hope her career can survive this movie. And, you know, it did.
So did her face. She still looks exactly the same.
Yeah, she does. Oh, she's quite lovely. You know, if I wasn't married and if she wasn't married to Ben, wait, if I wasn't married, I'm not married yet. Yeah. You know, well, getting a little ahead of the game there. I'm excited though. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about that.
No, do talk about it. I'm so excited for you.
Oh well, thank you. Hey, all right. I'll say this real quick. We decided where we're going to get married. We're going to get married in a park. We're going to get married outside in this very beautiful park called Valley Garden Park. It's in Greenville, Delaware, and that'll be next spring. So Lisa and I are really happy about that.
It's a long time away. It better be on the internet.
Actually, we're going to do that. We're going to broadcast it. We've decided we are going to broadcast it because a lot of people have asked us to, because our lives have been so much online, and so we will do that. We think that'll be fun to do.
That's a good idea.
Well, thanks. Okay, so we'll hop around a little bit. Did you have any other ones you wanted to talk about from last week, Melissa?
I do. Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just getting some weird, things are out of sync, just so if I'm sitting here looking lost and like a deer in headlights, that's why. But another one I had to mention, where was it? Okay, of course, now that I'm thinking about it, I can't find it. I made all these notes.
I did too, and they're way over there.
All right, I'll mention a new one.
Okay.
I'll mention a new one. Okay, one that I didn't hear you guys talk about was Team America, World Police.
Oh.
Do you remember that with the puppets?
I never saw this movie.
Oh, you guys haven't seen it. Okay, well, it's it is kind of messed up, but it was basically kind of after the whole terrorist, thing went down, and it was, my husband could sing the songs for me. What was that? Oh, the South Park guys did it.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people rave about this movie. I know people aren't going to be happy to hear this, but I'm not a South Park fan.
Oh.
So I was the first couple seasons, but I kind of lost it by the time that movie came out.
Oh, I thought the movie was the best part, but continue. Tell us about the thing.
I can't really remember all the plot lines to it, but suffice it to say they're trying to, go out and be the world police, and there's these puppets, and they're doing strange things, like they have sex scenes with puppets. It's, America! Can I swear online on a live show? You're like, America! Fuck yeah! And you're just dying. I mean, you're just belly laughing watching this thing. And the fact that they look like marionette puppets, but kind of claymation type thing, you just have to go check it out.
Yeah, one of these days. Now, are you a South Park fan, Michelle, or not so much?
Yes, sort of. I don't watch it anymore, but 10 years ago when we got married, or 12 years ago, we watched it a lot. And I still quote the movie all the time.
Oh,
cool. A little too much, probably. And we do Terrence and Phillip, and yeah.
I was pretty into the show when it came out. I don't know why I got away from it. I think maybe it was on at a bad time and I was working or something like that.
Well, but, it got worse. It got worse like everything else.
But I remember Mr. Hanky, was that his name? Towards the beginning, it was like a little piece of poop that talked. Remember that?
Yes.
It was the most ridiculous thing in the world. But I remember being there crying, laughing at it. And I remember too, it was one of those things where you're into it with your friends and your siblings, and then you mistakenly try to turn your parents onto it. It's like, okay, it's crude, but you got to watch it. And I remember being with my dad, who was probably close to 70 at the time, and then he's just like.
Yeah, I think my dad watches it.
Which was the same reaction when I tried to get him to watch The Osbournes, which was also dumb fun.
It is dumb fun.
He's like, I'm not listening to this son of a bitch's music. Why do you think I want to watch a show?
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. My parents aren't that old yet, but there's some of the things I try to watch. They're just like, what?
Like all these movies we're fixing to talk about.
Yeah, pretty much. And I know Patrick Stemp mentioned one. Let me get his thing up here so I can put that up on the screen.
Okay.
Here it is. Patrick Stemp says, Maximum Overdrive was pretty dumb. Still probably the best movie made from a King story. And does anybody know what the actual short story was called that they made Maximum Overdrive from?
No, I didn't know. I thought it was actually done originally for the screen, but apparently I was wrong.
I've never seen it.
The short story it was based on was called Trucks.
Oh, okay.
And basically this comet passes over the Earth and all the mechanical stuff takes on a life of its own and starts attacking the people. Mm-hmm. Stephen King, this was actually his first and only attempt at directing one of his own.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And he said that would not happen again. And Stephen King had his troubles with alcohol and drugs and things, and he said basically I was coked out of my mind while I was directing this movie.
Well, that's evident. He cast Emilio Estevez as the lead.
I know.
No, Emilio's okay.
Yeah, but have you seen it?
I saw it when it first came out. I guess back what was it, in the late '80s, probably.
It was in the '80s, but I think it was more towards the early to mid '80s.
Yeah. Now, what I remember most about that is a lot of people know Stephen King. One of his favorite bands is AC/DC, and
yes.
he used I think it was all AC/DC for the soundtrack, and there was one new song called "Who Made Who."
Yes.
Which I kind of you can't get. It's not on any AC/DC albums, and I almost want to buy the soundtrack just for that one song, so my collection is complete, because it's a pretty good song.
It's an awesome song.
Yeah, but that's the main thing I remember about that, is that it was filled with AC/DC songs, which is pretty cool.
Well, there was this truck that had this green kind of evil elf kind of face on it, or was it purple? It was it's been a while since I've seen the movie. But that sticks out in my memory, and that seemed to be the leader of these trucks, because they're stuck at a truck stop. Remember, this scene cracked me up, and I don't know if it says something about how warped my brain is, but the waitress is in the kitchen trying to do something, and there's an electric knife, serrated electric knife, and it starts attacking her, and she's like, ah! And I'm just like, really? Throw it across the room. I remember that one. And then Stephen King always has his little cameo. He's always in his stuff. And one of the opening scenes is him going to an ATM machine. And the ATM machine, he's trying to get money out of it, and it's not responding. He pounds on it, and the ATM sends a message up, and it says, "Fuck you." And that's Stephen King. It is just so over the top, campy. Did he intend it to be that way? I don't know, but that's what makes it so much fun to watch.
That's right. I need to rewatch that. Michelle, I wanted to ask you about one, because when I posted that we were doing this on Facebook, you listed one that I've never seen, and I don't know much about it, but it starred Kirk Douglas, Anne Margaret, and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
It's called The Villain, and it's like an old Western, but it's like Wile E. Coyote. It's just like,
really?
Like Wile E. Coyote.
Oh, wow. So this must have been before the Terminator and everything, I guess, huh? Oh, Michelle, I think you might have frozen up.
Baby. It was really good.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
No, I think you're good now. I think you just... Oh. Well,
now we lost her.
Now we lost her.
Well, hold on until she
comes back. Not going to say that F word again. Frozen.
No.
Yeah, it brought us bad luck. And ladies and gentlemen, I give you Michelle Reed. She's back. Hey, you are back.
I'm back.
You are back, yes.
We missed you.
All right, how much did you hear about it?
How
much did you hear?
It was a movie all about Christians in the early 1300s. Was that it?
Yes.
No, it was an old Western. Like a spoof.
Yes, and it's Wile E. Coyote. You heard that, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's really good. I think everybody should see it at least once. It's so dumb.
I'm curious to see that now, because I love all those people. I mean, Kirk Douglas, he's great, especially in the few comedies that I've seen even over the years. He's great because he doesn't mind spoofing his image and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he actually does the thing. Yes, he actually paints the, you know how Wile E. Coyote paints the thing on the rock and then he drives through it. He does that.
Oh, get out of here! Oh, that sounds awesome.
It's good.
Oh, cool.
Another one to add to the list.
Yeah, and Anne Margaret, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You gotta like Anne Margaret. And Arnold, was Arnold a good guy or a bad guy?
He was a good, stupid guy. So he was real, unintelligent. He was kind of didn't know anything. And Anne Margaret kept hitting on him and stuff, and he didn't really. It's so cute.
I want to see this. I got to see if this is on Netflix or available somehow.
I couldn't find it anywhere. You have to buy it, I think.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure it's 50 cents at Walmart.
Yeah.
Okay, looking at the comics. Did I say comics? Okay, that's a new word. Carl Sinclair says. Did that come up backwards on your screens?
No, it's fine.
Okay. South Park has had some of the best looks on society and social commentary of anything I've seen on TV. Those guys are genius.
I like the part in the movie where, never mind, every time.
Oh, I remember this happening last week.
Just never mind.
Okay, we will never mind.
The movie is the best part. But I really like I like the chef guy. I think the chef is hilarious. Mm-hmm. So pretty much anything he says.
Awesome. How about any other like animated movies? Like any particularly? Do you remember a movie called Cool World?
Yes.
That was like another one that it was. Huh? What'd you say?
He was an artist, and he drew this girl and these comics and brought her to life somehow. And
Brad Pitt was like some sort of like private eye like in this world, and that's another one that's kind of dumb, but it's not one that I'd watch over and over again, but kind of like that for that time period, I guess in the 80s, they just kind of it was cool because there was all kinds of like experimental type stuff that they just threw out there, and there'd be a lot of dumb moments, but a lot of fun stuff too.
Well, another dumb movie as animated, but I just laughed my butt off through the whole thing, was the Beavis and Butthead Do America, I think it was called.
Oh, right.
Red Hot, and Red Hot Chili Peppers did that remake. What's the name of the song, buddy? Roller Coaster of Love?
I don't know.
Oh, dude. But I can just remember him doing the dance in the desert. You know how Beavis and Butthead used to. That was like my favorite. I'm here doing Beavis and Butthead slapping dance.
You know what I like with Beavis and Butthead is when they teamed up with Cher and they released a version of "I Got You, Babe." Did you ever hear that?
No, you're making that up.
No, I'm not. It was like this really cool. They're like talking and they're even like flirting with Cher like throughout it. But it's like the song, they made it sort of like a harder rock song a little bit. And Cher kicks ass in that. Her vocals are amazing in that. And
with Beavis
and Butthead, if you can find the music video for that, I know it's on and off on YouTube. It's one of those ones where the record company sees that it's on there and they like take it down real quick. Mm-hmm. But if you ever get a chance to see that actual music video, it is hilarious.
Cool. Oh, I had to bring up Bill Dow's comment. He said, "Team America wasn't dumb. It was epic." And it is. I mean, it's a great movie to watch. It's just one of the dumb movies that you just love. It's a lot of fun.
And I want to bring this up. This is from Patrick Stemp. This is related to my statement that we're going to, Lisa and I will broadcast our wedding online. And he says, "Buddy, do a Kickstarter for Buddy and Lisa's wedding. $5, you get to watch the ceremony live online. $20, a piece of wedding cake in the mail. $100, attend. $500, officiate. $10,000, a copy of the wedding night video." Wow.
I like it.
I kind of like this too. Might not have to work for a year or so if we can get this thing rolling.
It would be fun.
Well, Darren Waremouth has also checked in, and Bill Dallas is awake. Yeah, you just mentioned that he's chimed in with that comment. So Bill was concerned earlier that even though he posted at 6 o'clock that he was first, that he might not be awake for the show. Also, Darren Waremouth checked in. He said Spaceballs, and he says, "Good evening. We did talk about Spaceballs last week. Have you seen that one, Melissa?"
Absolutely loved it. I was like, yes, when you brought that one up.
It's a great Mel Brooks movie.
May the shorts be with you. You haven't watched it yet?
No, I tried to watch it today, but my internet broke. That was problem number one. And then the electricity broke, so I still haven't seen it. But it looks like a real winner.
It's funny. I mean, yeah, don't expect like Oscar-winning movie there or anything, but it's a great dumb movie.
Yeah, we are talking dumb.
Moranis in it? Did
Yes.
I make that up? Okay.
Rick Moranis is in it. Yep.
Yeah. Rick Moranis. I love Rick Moranis.
I do too.
Oh, there's a great dumb movie for you. Strange Brew. Did you ever see Strange Brew? That's
I think I have.
Well, Rick Moranis, when he was on Second City TV, SCTV, he had the character that he did with Dave Thomas, Bob and Doug McKenzie. They were like the Canadian brothers. They hosted like a little show.
Yeah.
And there was like they have a popular Christmas song you hear every year on the radio. They do their own version of the 12 Days of Christmas. Anyway, they put these characters into a movie, and it was so it was so dumb, but so ridiculous and so very funny. I love that movie. In the comments too, Bill Dallas, he was talking about. I had been talking about the commentary on Dude, Where's My Car? And he said the same with Clerks. The commentary was just as good as the movie. And I've never watched the commentary on Clerks.
And I think I own that with the commentary, and I've never listened to it. I want to check that one out. And speaking of Clerks, Kevin Smith movies, and I know you guys mentioned this last time, but you did not mention.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys even have seen this one, and I'm trying to remember the exact. Here it is. Zach and Miri Make a Porno. Have you seen that?
I have not seen that one.
I haven't either. Do you like that one?
It is just a weird movie, but it's Kevin Smith, so it's all the things you can expect, and Jason Mewes is in it, of course, and Tracy Lords is in it. I guess if you're talking about doing a porno, it's Seth Rogen is the main character. He plays Zach, and Elizabeth Banks plays Miri.
I like her a lot. She's good.
Yeah. So the whole premise is Miri and Zach are friends and live together, and they're strapped for cash. They're totally broke, and they're trying to figure out a way to make money quick. And somehow they come up with this idea of making a porno. So they start the whole 9 yards. They get somebody to film it, and it's then they have auditions, and then they end up like doing a scene themselves in the movie. And Jason Mewes is with Tracy Lords, and oh my God, it's hysterical.
Doesn't Brandon Routh have some sort of role in there too? He's the guy that played Superman in Superman Returns. Do you know?
I can't remember. You're so much better at remembering which the actors are who.
He was in Gilmore Girls for like 5 seconds. I know that.
Oh, was he? Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Well, you're not a girl, so you shouldn't know that.
I know the mom was hot, though.
She was hot, yeah.
She was hot. What's her name? Lauren Graham?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I heard that her novel's really good. A friend of mine read a novel that she wrote last year.
She's
I can't remember.
Super smart. Like, real smart.
Yeah, I forget the name of her book, but I was actually intrigued by that because I like her. I've liked her since she had like one of her first things. I remember she had a recurring role on News Radio, which is a show that I really liked. Really clever comedy from the 90s.
We got some comments.
Awesome.
Yeah. You were going to bring up a comment there, Melissa?
Yeah, Bill Dallas said, OMG, I remember the electric knife scene. How can you forget the electric knife scene? Oh my gosh. And then Darren Wermel says, Austin Powers, great fun and incredibly stupid. Oh, and they were on my list. So thank you very much, Darren. They're totally on my list, all the Austin Powers movies. Yeah,
I was just looking at, Lisa and I were trying to find a movie to watch last night, and we ended up watching a really great dumb one. We'll elaborate more on either later, and that's The Three Amigos. But I looked at in my goofy comedy container, I had like all three of the Austin Powers movies, all very funny. The last one was probably my least favorite, but it still has some very funny stuff in it. Yeah, the first two are my favorite. Which one has the fembots in it? That's the end of the first one. At the end of the first one? Yeah. Fembots were awesome. Oh, yeah. I was quite fond of those fembots, I gotta tell you. And Elizabeth Hurley, she was really good. Yeah. She's awesome. Yeah. She wore the little short skirt with the boots at the end. Yeah.
I thought Seth Green was like awesome.
Oh, he was. Scott. Scott Evil.
He was Scott Evil.
He has all the quotable quotes.
He does. He is fantastic in those. And that's I think how I first became. Well, I guess how a lot of people first became aware of him. I know he was in some sort of teen movie before that. I forget which one it was. But yeah, he was great.
I remember which one it was, but I'm not telling you.
Oh, come on.
No, because if I get it wrong, then no. But yeah,
okay,
I like him.
Yeah, he's good. He's really, really good. So that was the Austin Powers movies. Yes, fantastic. I could watch the first two over and over again. The third one, you know what? I wasn't crazy about the Goldmember character.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, the whole thing where he was like peeling off the skin and eating it, I didn't think it was like.
Oh, that was just gross.
I just didn't find it all. I wasn't grossed out by it. I just didn't think it was that funny. I thought like the villains in the other movies were a little bit funnier. But I did like how. Yeah, but Michael Caine, however, was great in there as his father. And then Mini-Me, I guess, tried to turn good in that, didn't he, in the third movie?
Yeah, in the third movie.
Yeah, and I remember when Beyonce, when it was announced that Beyonce was in that, I didn't even know who Beyonce was. I was like reading about it, and I'm like, who is Beyonce? I had no idea, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's her.
Now she's everywhere.
She is everywhere.
Oh my gosh, she did a remake of what's the name of the song? Anyways, they have that trailer out for the movie they're making out of 50 Shades of Grey. And she did a remake of a song for that, and the song is awesome. I bet the soundtrack's going to be fantastic. I don't know.
It's not Shades of Grey by the Monkees, is it?
No, no.
Because that would not fit a movie like that. Nope.
Well, if you saw Gatsby, which was the latest,
I'm not gonna watch that shit.
Version. You don't watch that shit.
Ooh, Leo in 3D. Pinch me, could it be?
I love him. You shush right now.
I'm going to pay $23 to see Leo in 3D.
That wasn't a very good movie, though. But he's awesome.
I particularly love Leonardo DiCaprio as he's gotten older and more mature. He was way too boyish for me, back in the day. When he was doing, what was the Titanic? What was that? Was that the name of the movie?
Yeah.
He was way too boyish for me, but
he was good on Growing Pains.
I was just going to bring that up. Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
But now I really liked Gatsby, the newest one that they did. When they did the version with oh my God, who is the heartthrob? It's the 1970s Robert Redford.
Yeah.
It was all right, but they didn't. I don't know. They kind of played with the story, and I didn't like the way they played with it. And Buddy and I have had this conversation. When they turn a book into a movie, I'm not one of those people who absolutely has to have the book match the movie or the movie match. I'm talking in my other language.
The words match your lips.
Yes. That was a technical glitch. Anyway, I'm okay if they deviate. Sometimes with the way they twist things, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not even in the same vein that they were trying to get with that story. But I liked the newest Gatsby, but I like the big production. It's the same guy who did Moulin Rouge.
Oh, okay.
Who did Gatsby, and I kind of like that big production cinematography.
That's not my favorite. They didn't put him on the screen enough, so I was like, who cares about the parties? Put him back on the screen.
Now, I don't know what this movie is that Carl mentioned, but I don't think that Leonardo DiCaprio was in it, and that is, you know what, I just lost it in my comments.
Ever seen Drawn Together? I've still got it. Is that the one? Okay,
No.
Carl says, well, he brought up Drawn Together. Have you guys seen that TV show? Ever seen Drawn Together?
No, I've never heard of that. What's the deal there?
The recent movie is one of the funniest anime flicks I've seen, so I'm not going to say the word because I made technical glitch come around by saying, so bleeping stupid, but you can read it on the screen. Drawn Together, I've seen quite a few of the episodes, and it's insane, and it's like these different animated characters, like a superhero and like a pig from like a Warner Brothers cartoon, and they come together, and it's got a raunch factor to it, for one thing.
I'll skip that one then.
But it's fun and it's funny, and I have not seen the movie yet, so I'll be interested to check that out.
Yeah, and the movie, I'd never heard of that, but the one comment I had seen from Carl where he said, biker chicks from Zombie Town.
I've heard
of that.
But I have not seen it. Now I'm going to have to put it on the list.
No, I'm not putting it on the list.
Michelle, have you ever heard, I don't know if we mentioned this one last week, I can't remember or not, but there was a movie that Melissa and I did a show where we watched this movie and we had Xavier on, and it was called Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter. Have you ever heard of that?
No. I did watch Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer.
You've got to see this movie. It was like this low-budget Canadian movie, and it's on YouTube. You can find it on YouTube. But that's a great dumb movie, and it's just it's one of those ones where it's dumb, but there's a lot of clever moments in there. Like Jesus is running around singing and stuff, and then he's like fighting these people doing karate, and it is bizarre. It is bizarre.
And I was the only one I was the only one impressed with the foreshadowing with the little toilet, remember?
Oh, I do remember that.
That's how he ends up getting killed, is on a toilet. And I was like, come on!
You know what's funny is
genius.
it's funny is I look through like after we do the shows, I'll still like go back and check the history on them and just see what kind of views and stuff we have. That's the only show we've done where we've gotten thumbs downs on. I think like some religious people came across that. I think people were like, really, Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter, thumbs down.
Oh.
Aww.
But did they watch the movie before they thumbs downed it?
No, I don't think they did.
Well, then there you go.
Dirty bastards giving me a thumbs down. Carl Sinclair mentioned Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, great dumb movie. You can, I think, a lot of things with, a lot of movies rather, with like guys like Bill Murray in there. They're clever in so many ways, but there's so many like great dumb scenes in them.
Yes.
You gotta love them. You gotta love them. Like I know, I can't remember if we talked about Groundhog Day or not. Did we mention that last week, Michelle?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, that's a good one. And I remember, oh my God, I remember I was dating a girl and she hated that movie with a passion.
What?
She
Was
did.
she really a girl?
Huh?
Was she really a girl?
I'm not entirely sure about that. And we didn't go that far where I would know.
I don't know what she's getting into that.
The clothes and all that. But yeah, when I heard that, I'm like, yeah, this relationship's not going to go too far. So I'm glad that didn't work.
I love Needle Nose Ned the Head, Ned Ryder.
Oh yeah, he was great. Yeah, Ned.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic.
And speaking of Bill Murray, Zombieland was quite good.
Oh, I've always wanted to see that.
I don't know if that's dumb or not, but
well, I've always been curious about that.
It's good.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so.
Well, it's good to watch once, and then later when you forget what it was about, you watch it one more time with Twinkies, and then you're good. You don't have to watch it after that.
With Twinkies.
I think any movie's better with Twinkies.
That is true.
This is true. Also, we do have other comments here. Let me just bring up a couple of them. Patrick actually replied about Austin Powers. He said, I hated Austin Powers when I saw it in the theater. Gave it another chance a year or so later and loved it. Must have been in a bad mood the first time. I think that's the case.
The first time either.
No? I've had some movies like that too, where the first time, for whatever reason, maybe it's been hyped up so much that my expectations are so high I don't enjoy it. And then there's been some things where they've just shown up on HBO or channels so much that you kind of get sucked into it, and then you really grow to love it, I think.
Like Big Wreck, because I didn't like it as much the first time, Patrick, as I did the second time, and I'm totally hooked on it.
Oh yeah, Patrick. Yeah. If anyone's looking for some good music, Patrick Stem highly recommends Big Wreck.
They're very good.
Yeah, the little bit I've listened to so far of one of their albums I've really liked. Michelle, you got any other movies that you that are jumping out at you?
If we don't talk about Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, I'm gonna die.
You just watched that today with your mom, didn't you?
I'd watched part of it, yeah.
Good night.
Hi.
There's
Sorry.
Connor Lummis, ladies and gentlemen. Connor Lummis, welcome to the show again.
What 9-year-old boys do best.
Now, had you seen this before? Is it a favorite of yours, Michelle?
Yeah, I like it a lot. Steve Martin's in it and Michael Caine. We're like on a loop here about the same actors. And have you seen it?
I have. It's been years since I've seen it, but I remember liking it. I saw that in the theaters, I remember. Yeah,
it's good. It's just ridiculous.
It is. Michael Caine, I love Michael Caine because Michael Caine will do just about anything, movie-wise. He'll do like the real serious movies. He'll do Jaws 4. He'll do like Austin Powers, and now he's got this great career. Like it is late 70s, early 80s as like a character actor in movies, like Batman movies and everything. I mean, Michael Caine's awesome, and he was really funny in that. I remember the scene where I guess they were making it. Boy, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember like they were sitting at a dinner table, and didn't Steve Martin like pee his pants or something like that? He wanted to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, and he like was wearing an eye patch and stabbing himself in the eye with the fork with the cork on it, and it was good.
Oh, that is a great one. And I remember, I forget the name of the actress who was in that too, but I know she used to pop up in things. Did you know that was a remake of a movie from the early 60s?
I had heard that, but I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the other one.
It wasn't called Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, but I remember it was Marlon Brando was in it. Shirley Jones, who later went on to be on The Partridge Family. And Marlon Brando, I think, was the Steve Martin character in that. So you can tell it was a lot different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was the one that acting like he had issues, and I think it might have been like someone debonair, like David Niven was the Michael Caine character, but it was called Bedtime Story. I might be wrong on that, but we can check that out.
I wrote it down.
Okay. Connor Lummis chimed in. He said Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3. Loved it.
Yes, he's very much. I introduced him to that. I don't know. Would you consider them dumb movies that we love?
I wouldn't say they were dumb. No, I wouldn't call them dumb.
No, but he loves those movies. I enjoy them
it's
too.
A good
Obviously, we've watched them over and over again.
They're great movies. They're great movies. Patrick chimed in. Let me bring this up on the screen.
Patrick's very chimey today.
Patrick is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, I want to plug this every chance I get. It's Patrick's show that he does with Michael Laron and Archer Caldwell. It's on Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Look for it. It's called To Be Read, or TBR podcast, where they talk about great books that they're reading. Lisa Stahl actually was a guest on the show last week. It was a very good episode. Yeah, but Patrick brings up career opportunities. Jennifer Connelly and Frank Whaley stuck in a mall overnight. Between Labyrinth and this, Jennifer went from young to pluckow. You know, it's not often that the word pluckow comes up in normal conversation,
really
but I have to agree with Mr. Stemp there. Jennifer was quite pluckow. Yes, she was. And that was a pretty funny movie. Had either of you seen that?
No.
No?
I have not seen it. Nope.
It was good. And Frank Whaley's a guy that I think should have gone further with his movie. I know he still acts and everything, but I guess the most popular thing he was in was, you both seen Field of Dreams?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He was the young Moonlight Graham. And remember Burt Lancaster was the old doctor that Kevin Costner visited?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Moonlight Graham, and then when they left like the early 70s and they came to the field, and he was the young guy, and that was Frank Whaley playing that part. Good actor. He was on an episode of Psych too. He was really good on there.
Hey, you know what it's time for? It's past time for.
Oh, that might be the album of the week. And this one was chosen sort of related to the topic tonight.
Okay.
Okay. This is actually not a full record album. This is a 12-inch single. Remember that used to be the thing back in the 80s where you'd get like the extended remixes of songs. And I don't know if you can recognize these actors on the cover.
Oh, Spies Like Us.
Spies Like Us. Which was a song by Paul McCartney. It was the theme song for the really great dumb movie Spies Like Us, starring Mr. Dan Aykroyd and Mr. Chevy Chase. And this was the party mix of the song. Where on one side you had Spies Like Us, the party mix, and then the other side you had Spies Like Us, the alternative mix. And it says known to his friends as Tom. That's what it says in the title. Performed and written by Mr. Paul McCartney. And that was, a lot of people slam this song. Like Paul McCartney and Beatle fans are saying, oh, it's like this great cheesy 80s song. He really sold out. But they got him in part to do it because he had done the theme song for Live and Let Die, the James Bond movie. And these guys were supposedly like secret agents in this movie. So they were kind of playing off of that. And I think it's a good, fun song. And there's really a good, fun music video for it, too. Because these guys like appear in the music video and they show clips from the movie. So if you're ever like on YouTube and you're looking for a good, fun thing to watch Spies Like Us.
It's been so long since I saw that. It's like I can remember like certain images, like in the snow hoods, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That's all I remember.
You know,
I can watch it again.
It's not. I love those guys. I am a big Chevy Chase fan. I own so many of his movies, and I've always liked Dan Aykroyd. But that's not one of my favorites. I think it's got a lot of funny scenes in it, but not one that I'm going to watch over and over again or buy on TV.
Right.
But speaking of Chevy Chase, I mentioned it earlier, and that there was the Three Amigos.
Oh, yes.
Chevy, Steve Martin, and Martin Short. And
we watched it at the same time last night. You
ended up watching it too? Okay.
Mm-hmm. I just tried to finish it this morning.
It's such a funny movie. I've always loved that movie. And you've seen that, Melissa, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Lisa, my fiance, she had never seen it. She had never seen it. And I was telling you two before the show that we'll call each other like cutesy little nicknames. And one day I called her My Little Buttercup. And that's a song that's in the movie, a very, very funny song that Steve Martin and Martin Short do together. And Chevy Chase is playing piano. It's just ridiculous. You can find the video on YouTube. It's great. But I showed her that video. She's like, oh, my God, I need to see this movie. And we watched it last night, and she was dying. She was dying.
I knew she would like that. When you said that, I was like, she's going to like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I've only known her like 2 weeks.
Michelle, you had mentioned one scene that, has always cracked me up, and it really made Lisa crack up, and that's when the guys are trying to break back into the movie studio because they've just been fired, and they're trying to get back their Three Amigos costumes, and Steve Martin's like climbing up on the wall, and Chevy and Martin Short are there, and I love their names too. You've got Lucky Day. Steve Martin is Lucky Day. Chevy Chase is Dusty Bottoms, and Martin Short is Ned Niederlander, who was started in like these movies like Little Nettie Goes to War when he was like a little kid and stuff. But they're trying to break in there, and he's trying to get their attention, and he's up on the wall, and he's just like making all these noises, and those two are idiots. They're just totally ignoring him. They totally don't get that he's up there, and he's making bird noises, and he's like, hey, look up here, look up here, look up here, and he's like, hey, you guys. Oh God, Chevy Chase was so dumb. His character was so dumb in that movie. It was great.
Yes, didn't the girl like try to kiss him, and he was just like,
Oh yeah. She said that she wanted to kiss. She goes, I really want to kiss you, and he's like, yeah. And then she's like, I want to kiss you on the veranda, and he's like, well, the lips would be fine. No idea where it was. Oh, it's really great. Chevy's did some great dumb movie. Well, I don't know if you can call the Caddyshack movies dumb. Well, because Caddyshack 2 was really dumb and bad. But the first one, it's got a lot of great dumb scenes in there, but it's just so funny. I mean, look at the scene where, like the candy bar falls into the swimming pool. The swimming pool's full of people, and, they think it's, something else, chocolate and wet that should be in the pool. And it's just a ridiculous scene, but so funny.
Well, the whole thing with Murray, Bill Murray, and the gopher. That whole thing is so ridiculous. Where he's trying to get the gopher on the golf course, and everything he's doing to try to. That whole bit is just ridiculous, but it's hilarious, hysterical.
Any other favorites that you want to talk about there?
I have one more.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Michelle.
No, Hurt. Go ahead.
There's a couple of them, and these were I guess they're just a little thing from my past. But the Ernest movies, like Ernest Goes to Jail.
I've never seen. I think we might have talked about Ernest before. I've never seen an Ernest movie.
I do the large Marge face in the car all the time to scare my children if they're being bad.
Okay, I'm not familiar with this. Can you do that face for us?
No, I cannot.
Oh, come on. No one's watching. It's fine.
No.
Okay.
We'll link to it in the comments later.
There you go.
Frightening.
Yeah, I know there were a ton of those movies, and for whatever reason, I don't know. I just didn't think I was going to like them.
Oh, they were just so dumb, but that was exactly, what we're talking about, the dumb movies that you love. And I'll even say to my kids, you know what I mean, Vern? That's like his favorite line. They're like, what is that? What are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, God.
I made my kids watch them. That and like the Pee-wee's Playhouse. I was like, watch this right now. This is your punishment for being bad.
A couple of other comments here. Carl says, role models, do my eyes deceive me? It's a Minotaur.
What?
I don't know.
It's got to be a line.
Tell him to explain, or somebody can.
Yeah, Carl, you might want to explain yourself. He also says the dumbest movie of all time is Batman and Robin.
Oh my gosh, it really is.
It really is. I totally agree with that.
Okay, if you can't recognize, this is Buddy's disagreeing face.
Oh, okay, sorry.
All right, not the best Batman movie. I will grant you that. They made it way too cartoonish with like Arnold as Mr. Freeze. I mean, he played it up good. He made it really campy and everything. And if you compare it to the earlier movies, definitely not on the same, scale as like the first Batman movie with Michael Keaton. But I enjoyed it. I like George Clooney. I thought he was good in there. I did not.
Nice mouth.
What's that?
He has a nice mouth. That was about it.
Yes,
I've often said that about Clooney. He does have a nice mouth.
I think he says that about himself too. But what did you like
I think he probably does. But I wasn't. I like Alicia. That's how she says her name, right? Alicia Silverstone.
Mm-hmm.
I like her as an actress, and I thought she was good with what they gave her to do in there. But I thought that Batgirl became Batgirl way too easily, and that it was kind of like silly. It's just like all of a sudden, okay, you can be Batgirl. But I liked the movie overall. I didn't hate it as much as most people do.
Wasn't Chris O'Donnell in that?
Yeah, he was Robin,
Yeah.
and you also had Uma Thurman was Poison Ivy.
Oh, that was terrible. Yeah.
And most people say that, and I've even heard Clooney say that he killed the Batman franchise.
Oh.
Clooney's great because he's got a very good self-deprecating sense of humor, and he has said that himself because they didn't make another one for a long time. Darren had agreed with me on Groundhog Day. He said he thought that was a magnificent Bill Murray movie.
That's one, like, I don't know, does everybody else do this on Groundhog Day? I sit back and watch Groundhog Day. Gotta watch it.
I've never done that.
I own the movie, watch it every Groundhog Day. And if it happens to fall on a weekend and it's snowing out, I watch it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. My sister and
Very
I always tell each other Happy Groundhog Day. And then we both watch the movie in our own houses.
That's great. We've got so many comments, and I thank everyone for tuning in, watching live, and commenting. Carl said, Zombieland, Twinkies, damn you, Michelle. You know I can't get any. Carl Sinclair is in Australia.
I can mail them to you, and they'll last forever, because they last forever.
They do last forever. They do.
Except I don't think you can mail stuff to Australia.
And Patrick says, oh my God, Michelle wins for watching Zombieland. What's wrong with the other hosts?
Yay!
Yeah,
I'm in trouble now.
Boy,
put it on the list.
I said such nice things about Patrick Sem's To Be Read show. Maybe he posted that before. You don't have to watch it at Tuesdays at 9 p.m., folks. No, seriously, watch it.
We'll be watching Zombieland at that time.
Oh, there you go. Carl agreed with me on News Radio, the TV show. News Radio was epic until Phil Hartman was gunned down. And that's true. I mean, unfortunately, we all know Phil Hartman, great comic actor, was killed by his wife, and then she killed herself. And then the show continued on, I think, for like a season and a half afterwards, and it was still good, but it was never quite the same.
Wasn't the same.
Yeah, I own the first 4 seasons on DVD.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah. Oh, it's a great show. Dave Foley was.
Yeah, I watched it when it was on the air, and that was so sad what happened.
Yeah, and then
talking about him last night.
Oh, you were talking about him last night? Yeah.
Yeah, he was in our...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you first.
No, I was just going to say that he had a very small part in Three Amigos towards the beginning. He was in there.
Yes, and I think he was in the other dumb movie I watched this week, which maybe not, the Raising Arizona with Nicolas Cage.
Oh,
another Nicolas Cage
movie. Where he had like the Edward hair from Twilight.
Oh, yeah. Did you guys see him in Ghost Rider? It was like, who came up with this idea? We're going to have Nicolas Cage, flying through the air on a motorcycle with his head on fire.
So ridiculous.
I don't know. I think it was it last week Xavier was really slamming Nicolas Cage.
There's a Ghost Rider 2, I think, is going to come out at some point.
Yeah, I think it actually did. I think it's been
Did
gone.
it really?
Yeah.
They did it too? Oh my God. What about like back in the day? Remember Wild at Heart?
Oh,
Nicolas
okay.
Cage was in. Was that a freaky movie or what?
Yeah, I liked. Yeah, written and directed by David Lynch, and I'm a big David Lynch fan.
Yeah.
That was a freaky one, but it was good. It was really good. But I think we might have talked about Twin Peaks recently. That I just binge watched Twin Peaks on Netflix.
Yes, we had talked about that.
Yeah, and David Lynch is just twisted but brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to Michelle, you mentioned Raising Arizona. Now, is that one of your favorites?
I didn't. I watched it a bunch of years ago, and I fell asleep during it. And so my husband, it's one of his favorites, and he made me watch it the other day, and I thought it was hilarious.
I haven't seen that in years. Oh my God, I forgot about that.
It's been a long time.
Holly Hunter is in it. And she's adorable.
I've always liked her. I like Holly Hunter a lot. She's good.
I thought it was great. I wrote down all my favorite parts, but I lost the list. I like the whole thing.
And it's been so long since I've seen it, I can't remember, the details of it. But
There's
I
one
do.
part- Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I do remember it was a guy I was dating in college. He absolutely loved that movie, and it's bizarre that I can't remember, other than maybe, the fact that we were partying all night, and then we'd go back to the apartment and pop that movie in. So maybe my brain was altered, and I couldn't, put it into long-term storage or something.
Well, him and his wife can't have a baby, and they meet in jail, and so she gets the idea to steal a baby from somebody who has 5 babies. And then that obviously doesn't go very well. And they hire this really gross bounty hunter. Who else was in it? John Goodman is in it.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. And there's a lot of funny parts in it. But my husband's favorite part is where Holly Hunter they've just kidnapped the baby, and she's driving home, and she's like, I love him so much.
Okay, I remember that.
All the time, as a little clip.
Oh, remember that line that I put up the one comment from Carl we didn't understand? He said, role models, do my eyes deceive me? It's a minotaur. Carl did explain that. He said it's a line in the movie Role Models, which I have not seen. And he said it's hilarious. It stars Sean William Scott and Paul Rudd. I do remember when that came out.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah, I like Paul Rudd. He says, go watch it now, you heathens.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Paul Rudd is really good, and which reminds me of a great dumb movie. Now, I think we talked about this off the air, Michelle, but I can't remember if we mentioned it on the show, and that's Dinner for Schmucks, or Dinner with Schmucks. Which
Yeah,
one?
I think we
heard
did
of
talk
that
about that afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, you never heard of that one, Melissa? Oh,
Mm-mm.
you need to see this immediately. It stars Steve
Adding it to
Carell.
the list.
Yes. Oh, it's a great. Oh my God, it's a great dumb movie. Steve Carell is in there. Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd is like this. Michelle, correct me if I'm wrong. He's like a rising or hopes to be rising executive at an ad agency, right, or some sort of business.
I think so. I haven't seen the whole thing
Yeah,
because I fell asleep.
But Steve Carell saves his life, and Steve Carell is just an idiot. He's just an idiot. His thing is, I can't remember what he does for a living, but he makes little scenes out of dead mice.
Oh my God!
I forget what they're called, but he'll get these dead mice, and he'll build great little scenery around them and all that, and that's what he does for his art. And he's just what happens is Paul Rudd's boss has this thing every year where I guess you can get a big amount of. Now I'm getting some of it wrong, but basically it serves the people really well if they can bring a total schmuck to this big dinner at his boss's mansion, and whoever brings the biggest schmuck there, biggest loser, biggest goofball, really benefits from it. And he realizes what a goofball Steve Carell's character is, and he likes him, but he figures he's going to make this work to his advantage, and to bring him to this dinner. And Zach Galifianakis is in this movie too, a small part, but it's a great dumb movie. I saw it in the theaters, and I was crying laughing.
And what's the name of it again?
Dinner for Schmucks.
Dinner for Schmuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Carl
Yeah,
has a good one.
I took a girl to see that, and that was our last date. She didn't.
Oh.
She didn't care for it. She hated it. She's like, "Buddy, this is horrible. I don't know why you're laughing."
Good.
And
I'm glad.
And also, I don't know why you're crying laughing.
Well, I'm glad she went away because she can't appreciate good dumb movies.
That's right. That's right. Let her watch her series.
Carl just said Mars Attacks.
Oh
my
Which
God,
I
that's
love.
right. Yeah.
So good.
yeah.
I also do that to scare my children. I'll walk around the house going,
Oh, now that you do that, do the large March face.
No, I can't do it.
Damn it! I thought maybe since you were on a roll, you would do it for us.
No, you have to be misbehaving, and then I'll do it.
Okay, I'll just drink a lot of beer or something.
No.
Okay, we are at the over-hour mark now, so I think maybe we should wrap it up, my friends.
Okay.
But so many great comments tonight. Everyone who's watched live, we appreciate it. And before we wrap, is there any other movies that either one of you wants to bring up? I don't want to cut anybody off if you got anything on your
No,
Did you ever
we got Mars
ever
Attacks,
see-
and I'm good.
The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle that Robert De Niro did?
No.
Oh
No.
my God. It's so dumb. You got to watch it once. It's kind of one of those partial animation. Remember when those movies were really popular, the Who Framed Roger Rabbit and all that? Well,
Right.
Robert De Niro was in The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, and I love the whole, moose and squirrel. I mean that what was the guy's name? The Russian.
Well, there was Boris and Natasha, right?
Boris and Natasha, and I believe De Niro played Boris. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but the whole,
I was curious about it, yeah. And getting back to Mars Attacks, that was like, I know Tim Burton directed that.
Mm-hmm.
And Tim Burton, I have a love-hate relationship with Tim Burton. Like, I don't care for a lot of his movies, but I still think Tim Burton is a brilliant director, and he will do bizarre stuff, and that was both brilliant and bizarre.
He does very bizarre stuff.
Yeah.
A couple of the other ones, I remember the Nutty Professor movies?
I didn't see any of those with Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. I particularly love The Family. What are their names?
Oh, they even did a spin-off movie, The Clumps.
Yes. I love them. I love the way they're played. I love how many characters Eddie Murphy actually ends up playing in the movie. It's dumb, but it's funny. And if you haven't checked it out, it's, again, one of those you want to watch once just to see it. But do you remember Year One with Jack Black?
Oh, I never saw that.
Yeah. It's one of those, you're just watching it like it's a train wreck because, their Year One, it's supposed to be, cavemen and all that.
Right, and it's got the kid from Superbad, right?
Yes.
Michael Cera, yeah.
But it's just the kind of a train wreck. You're watching it just like, I can't believe they made this movie. Oh my God.
What is that other what is the Tenacious D movie? What is that called?
Oh, you know what? Tenacious. Someone just mentioned that in the comments.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, John, your husband did. Tenacious. John Reed says Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny. I've never seen that. Is it good?
Well, yes. If you don't mind a few bad words, then yes.
Oh, okay. I am friends with like Carl Sinclair and all that gang. I'm used to bad words.
I did do this a couple of times.
Oh, really? Wow.
But it's really funny.
Oh, okay. I like, Jack Black's another one that I sort of have a love-hate relationship with. It's just like, sometimes I find him really grating, but other times I think he's great. Like, I liked the movie, what was the one? Shallow Hal.
I like that one, too. That was really good.
That's one that I thought was going to be a lot more. Well, it's got dumb moments, but I thought it was going to be just a ridiculous dumb movie. But it had a really good story in there, too.
Yeah, it did.
And oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the guys who were behind that movie. But they're the same ones that did, like, There's Something About Mary. And what's the ridiculous one where Matt Damon's like a Siamese twin?
Oh my gosh, that was so good. Stuck on You.
I never saw it. What is it?
Yes.
Stuck on You. It was Matt Damon and who? Greg Kinnear?
Yes. Yeah, and Matt Damon met his wife on that movie.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Interesting. But, and boy, I wish I could remember the name of the directors who do that, the production team. But they always seem to have something where there's like a character who has issues. Like in Shallow Hal, you had the lead character was, very, very overweight, the Gwyneth Paltrow character. There's Something About Mary. There was Mary's brother was mentally challenged. And even Stuck on You, you're dealing with Siamese. And I forget, there was something else, too, where he was dealing with a character that was some sort of disability. But they throw these disabilities in there, but they don't make fun of these disabilities or faults in the characters. It's more or less about the other people, how they act with it. Like even, like in There's Something About Mary, that character was fine. He wasn't like a goof or anything. And the same with like Shallow Hal. They weren't really making fun of overweight people, but they were making fun of the other people who are showing how stupid they are because they are insensitive towards those things. So even though they're ridiculous movies, they're not really making fun of them. Oh, and what's the other one that? I forget who was in it, but they went to participate in, like, I think it was the guy from Jackass. He like pretends that he goes into the Special Olympics to like meet a girl or something like that.
I don't know.
Johnny Knoxville. I forget the name of the movie, but he actually like went into the. He acted like he was mentally retarded so that he could, or mentally challenged. I'm sorry, I want to be politically correct. And he went in like, and he was supposed to be like, he was going to participate in the Special Olympics because he knew he could win all these awards because he really didn't have those problems. But he becomes like very sensitive to the people who have the disabilities. So even though it was like this ridiculous concept for a movie, and it looks like it'd be something where they're making fun of it, didn't actually do that. Am I still on camera? Because I'm seeing like an issue here on my screen.
I see you.
Oh, okay. I think we're good now. Sorry, but I forget the name of that movie. But it was another one where it was dumb. It looked really dumb, but it wasn't as dumb as you would think. You know, like Shallow Hal.
Mm-hmm. Did we lose Michelle?
We lost Michelle, but thank goodness she is back.
I have like Liam Kingman's internet access today.
I love that when you do disappear, you come back really quickly. Because I've had incidents on here where, you know, I disappeared. And remember one night, Melissa, I was gone, and then it was like you and Todrick Handel for like 10 minutes without me.
We're like, yeah, we lost Buddy, okay.
Then I'm like trying to figure out what's going on, and I realized I kicked the cord out of the wall or something.
Ugh.
It was ridiculous. Okay, now I appear to be rambling, so I think that's a good time to wrap things up.
Okay.
Oh, you know what, though?
What?
You know what, though? I had said earlier that Michelle had a lot going on this week, something that was pretty big and pretty exciting. And Michelle released a new book.
Yay! Awesome. Congratulations.
Second book in the Invisible series.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Well, it's like it was a soft release, so I just quietly sent it out there. But on the 9th and 10th of August, I'll have ads run, and it'll be a little bit more out there.
Fantastic. So that is
my internet is acting up again. So if you want to talk about it, then.
Well, I think the best way for people to learn about this is to go to Buddy's writing show, the Michelle Reed interview, which was just a couple weeks ago. We had a very nice chat on there where we talked about all 3 of your books. And you do have the, like I said,
and my internet dropped out.
But you have How to Be Poor, which is a nonfiction book, and also the 2 books of the Invisible series, where it's these moms. Well, I'll just say moms with superpowers.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's right.
Now, are these young adults or?
Yeah, it sounds silly, and it is silly.
No, but it's fun.
No, they're like 30. I didn't actually make them be an age, but they're like 32 or so. It's not a young adult book. It was a book written for like the Twilight moms.
Ah, okay, cool.
Yeah, and boy, the first book I know has got like, you look at the reviews on Amazon and people really got a kick out of that first book. They really thought it was a fun book. I know I just picked it up. I'm anxious to read it myself.
It's interesting. I've heard the second book is better. That's what people are saying in my inbox, so we'll see.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great. I wish you the best of luck with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I appreciate you being on the show 2 weeks in a row. Oh, Mike, we've done like 3 shows together in 2 weeks now. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And Melissa, I'm
back.
And Melissa, it's good to have you back.
Yay! It's good to be back. It's been an interesting couple of weeks, but we finally. Everything's copacetic. We went camping this weekend. We had a great time, lots of kayaking, and then we had a beautiful day. And then like 9 o'clock at night, just as everyone's like sitting around the campfire, toasting marshmallows,
smoking weed,
boom! The sky opened up and just poured down on us, and just major lightning. And this was out in West Virginia, so the thunder's rolling off the mountains, and we're down at the riverside, So for about 2 hours, it just poured and poured and poured, and the fire stayed lit. I was like, there is some sort of magic going on here. But then it stopped for a while, and people were able to get around the campfire. And so if you just hearing me going and clearing my voice, sitting around a campfire.
Oh.
But that happens every time. It was awesome. So I'm glad to be back. I feel refreshed and energized, and
great.
All that. Oh, and I told you I have the 5th book coming out, right?
Yes.
And I wanted to mention Olivia Hardin's book's coming out the 28th, which is 2 days from now, and it's called A Dangerous Season. And I think I mentioned this at the beginning, did I?
It's actually like 45 minutes from now.
Oh yeah. Ooh yeah. She's releasing
Look
it.
at me with my mad math skills.
You are so crazy, dude. And then there's I've been invited to be in an anthology called Just a Night with some awesome authors, LP Dover. I want to mention all of them, but I don't have them in front of me now. But if you go to Melissa Lummis on Facebook, I just posted a thing about the Blitz that's coming out, and this is my first contemporary.
Oh, cool. Exciting.
Everything I've published up until now has been paranormal, so it's exciting to branch off into something else and see how it goes.
Now, what is Just Tonight? What's the basic theme for that then?
It's erotic romance, so. But it's everything, across the board. It's, from one end to the other of the spectrum, so there's something in it for everybody.
Interesting. Oh, well, everyone should keep an eye out for that then and check out Melissa's Facebook page to learn more about that. For myself, I have a new Buddy's writing show tomorrow night, which, as we already indicated, would be the 28th, July 28th. That'll be at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's with, my guest is going to be Garrett Robinson. Garrett's been doing this I don't know if, I think you might be familiar with this. Garrett's been doing this project now called Vlog-a-Novel, where he is writing these books. It started, I guess, about 2 weeks ago. He's doing it all online, and people can tune into his YouTube page or his Google Plus page and watch him write. And it starts out, you'll see there he's outlining. You can go back and watch some of the other episodes, but he's doing it pretty much every night. You can watch him outline his books, sit there and try to figure out where they're going. And it's cool because if you're live commenting, he'll interact with you as you're watching. I've done that a few times. And basically, he's starting a book at the beginning of the week. It's this ongoing series. Starts at, I don't know if it's Sundays or Mondays. Does this for so many hours every day. He sits there. You're watching him do it on his Scrivener file. You're watching him, outline, write, edit it. And I think he's even taking some suggestions from people in the comments. I was in there the other night. He's like, "Oh, I need the name of a city," and somebody threw in the name of a city, and I was like, "Okay, great, I'll put that in the book." And then he actually publishes it that Friday or Saturday. So, and Garrett's known for being a very fast writer, and he's a good writer. And I just think this is the coolest thing that he's doing it. And I'm kind of geeking out now because I'm excited to talk with him about this. So if you're interested in this, like I said, tomorrow night, the 28th, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Buddy's Writing Show. And you can find that on my channel here on YouTube. And I think we are going to wrap this up. So Michelle Reed, thank you so much again for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Melissa, great to have you back.
Yay! And thank you very much, Michelle. I really appreciate you coming in last week in particular.
Thank you. I hope everything was okay.
Yeah, everything's good now. It was the same problem my mom's car had, I'm talking 25 years ago. It just shut off, and it was the computer.
Oh.
So you can imagine me going down a highway, and it just goes.
Yeah, that's.
Everybody's safe and covered by warranty, and all is well.
Very good. And it was nice to finally meet you tonight.
Yes, absolutely.
Also, last thing, I want to say very, very happy birthday to a good friend of the show, Mr. Xavier Granville.
Yay!
Today's Xavier's,
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I believe 49th birthday.
Yes.
Yeah. No, he's somewhere in his,
I think he's 20s.
Early to mid-20s, yeah. So Xavier was in doing the show last week, and if you want to watch that, Xavier is one of the funniest people I know.
Oh my gosh.
Freaking hilarious in the episode.
His imitations, when he's doing the voices.
Oh, yeah.
Cracks me up. Christopher Walken and Bill Cosby, and who else was he doing? Oh my God, that was his.
I can't remember.
The best one.
His Bill Cosby was great. It was really hilarious. So,
I didn't know he could do them, and so he started doing them, and I just died.
Yeah, when he does Jeff Goldblum, that kills me. But happy birthday, Xavier. Xavier's first book will be out soon. He'll be on my show to talk about that. So everybody, Dinosaur Noir. So everyone, thanks again for tuning in. Michelle, thanks. Melissa, thanks. And
Thank you.
Everybody, we'll see you soon.
All right. Good night, everybody.